Howdy folks, it's the Creepy Kentuckian here with you from DEADPIT Radio. Today we have a very interesting throwback, if you will. Now, our good friends over at Synapse Films released some amazing stuff. Audio video quality, excellent. Blu-rays, 4Ks. But today, on the review, they're going a little bit old school. Synapse is. This is a Synapse Films DVD. I can't answer you when the last DVD exclusive Synapse Films released. I have no idea. It's been a while, okay? But I do commend them on releasing this DVD. There's a lot of studios out there that release a lot of lower budget, shot on video stuff on Blu-ray, and I've asked why. I know they want to make more money or whatever, but video stuff is not going to look fantastic or even slightly better on Blu-ray. So it's cool to see Synapse bringing this particular edition out. Now, this was a release that had been many years in the making, according to a friend of mine that was telling me about this. Tell me about this guy who, Blake Eckard, is the director here. And this set is Intensely Independent, the micro-budget films of Blake Eckard. And I understand most of you guys probably have never heard of Blake Eckard. He never became a famous filmmaker or anything. But the story behind these releases and these films is pretty damn amazing. For someone like me who grew up with the documentary, American Movie, which I watched over and over and over again, following independent film career, Mark Borchardt, right? And so, I mean, this is kind of like what Mark Borchardt did, but even on a smaller level. Now, make no mistake about this, though. Blake Eckard, these films are not particularly horror films. There's two of them in this edition here. Bubba Moonface is the one that DEADPIT listeners remember. Blake had actually sent us a copy of that DVD back when it came out. It's from 2011 or so. And he's around the same age as us. And from what I understand, he was a pretty avid listener of the radio show back in the day too, which is kind of interesting. But Bubba Moonface is the one that I kind of knew him for. And Coyotes Kill for Fun is one of the more recent ones that he did in 2017. Blake comes from a very, very small country town in Missouri. I think less than 1,000 people lived there. And he and his friends and comrades have been making movies for years and years and years, for over 20 years. And these are two of the movies that's included in Intensely Independent, the micro-budget films of Blake Eckard. And this was a set, man, that honestly, this was a release that was kind of a risk for Synapse. So I commend Don and Jerry for putting this thing out. The story behind this, to me, is more interesting than the movies, although the movies, surprisingly, are pretty damn good. So we're going to talk about the movies, too, and get into the extras and all the goodies thrown in this DVD edition. Could DVD be making a comeback? Huh? We're going to take a look. First movie up, Bubba Moonface from 2011. Features two brothers who reunite at their mother's funeral. The brothers Horton and Stanton, their lives really aren't the greatest. Right? They're from this small country town. They don't have a whole lot of money or anything. Struggling, if you will. A lot of people from rural areas understand. It's kind of following the days leading up to the funeral, their mother, and their mundane rural lives. They frequent local bars, meet up with old girlfriends, one of which surprised Stanton with an infant baby, and that baby is Bubba Moonface. That's what they name it. Their father shows up, who's a wild man. A tragic event strikes. Bubba Moonface is a very, very depressing movie. Only 85-minute movie, but pretty much the entire 85 minutes is depressing as fuck. The best way to describe Bubba Moonface is like a micro-budget Blue Velvet. It has that same sort of vibe. The actors and everything in the movie do a great job. And the look of the movie is pretty damn cool. You can tell they didn't have a whole lot of money to work with here. But the movie works, man. And the acting works. And it's kind of surprising. Now, these are not horror movies. Blake is a horror fan, from what I understand. These are more or less like psychological dramas and not feel-good movies at all, for sure. Next one up from 2017, Coyotes Kill for Fun. This one follows a backwoods babysitter who helps a mother escape from an abusive relationship, only for the brother of her boyfriend to come back in town with violent intentions, baby. This movie features a lot of the actors from Bubba Moonface as well, of course, because they're in that small rural Missouri area there, country area. And Blake captures boony life, right? Living in the sticks and the boonies very well. You know, each of these, everyone in his movies have like a purpose and a character. It's not your stereotypical, dumb, toothless, hillbilly, redneck character, which I think is really cool. Now, are these movies going to be for everybody? Probably not. But if you're an independent filmmaker and this sounds like something that you would like, odds are that you would. Intensely independent, the micro-budget films of Blake Eckard mainly went unseen up until now, and this pretty big release here from Synapse Films. DVD. I don't get a lot of DVDs anymore, but yeah, man, I mean, I was pretty impressed with this edition. There isn't a whole lot of special features on this. The only thing included is a pamphlet that talks about his career and everything. It's about a 5 or 6 page pamphlet by Andrew Wyatt, just talking about Blake's career and how these movies were made. And also included is an audio commentary over Bubba Moonface, an interview with indie film legend John Jost about Eckard. And that's something else that I didn't mention. You know, there's documentaries. There's a documentary about Blake Eckard from one of our friends, Christian Day, that is out there if you're interested. And a lot of more well-known filmmakers are fans of this guy. I don't want to name names or anything. You can look it up. But, yeah, I mean, he's got an underground fan base of filmmakers that are impressed with his filmmaking abilities, making these movies on micro budgets, if you will. And very talented guy. He has a drive behind him for sure. And that is missing in filmmaking today, 100%. But anyway, intensely independent, the micro budget films of Blake Eckard is out now on DVD from Synapse Films. Check it out, but be sure to check us out. We're over at DEADPIT.com. I'd like to tell people to thumbs up the video, Uncle Bill.
Would you?
Yes. Thumbs it up with violence and fury and just love everything about it, right, Uncle Bill?
Yeah. You hit the heart button, then you hit the ass button, then you can hit the go fuck yourself button. Follow that up with the I don't give a shit button.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others. but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Lie South on the left. The hills have eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Special thanks goes out to our supporters on Patreon. Do you know what kind of stuff you can get on Patreon, Uncle Bill, starting at only $1 a month?
What's that?
Access to every Dead Pit show since 2005. We got almost 200 fan commentaries that we've done over the decades.
We have a literal jukebox full of songs and thousands of reviews. I don't even know how many shows are up on there now that we've done over the years.
Hundreds of thousands.
You need to figure this out now and subscribe to us on Patreon and YouTube and Instagram and help us to 1 million. The road to 1 million subscribers starts today.
So deadpitonpatreon.com. Join today. Tiers start at only $1, but I'd recommend at least the $10 tier.
You can do 50. The stock market's crashing around us, folks, but send us money.